Good work. You too. Thanks for all your trouble. The interview took about 30 minutes longer than planned. Things didn't go over smoothly at all, but I was saved by the time limit. And now the cameraman, who himself started 30 minutes late, is ogling at Kazusa through the camera lens, as if attempting to persuade her. On the other hand, Yoko-san and I are sitting down at the open terrace across the street, and looking at her from afar, as if it's not our problem. Which only irritates Kazusa even further.
My daughter has been interviewed by the media of many nations, but there is no doubt that this has been the worst one.
I'm sorry. I can't put the blame on my lack of experience. I'll apologize alongside my superior someday.
There's no need to apologize. The one who was awful was Kazusa. That was the first time in my life I had to smooth things out like that.
Is that so? I thought you two were always like that.
Yes, that's how she behaved around you, Guitar-kun. I don't remember giving birth to a girl who would let her emotions out, feel regret, waver, and walk around in circles like that.
That aside, I'm amazed you remember me so well, Toma-san.
The first special article about Kazusa and Ensemble, you wrote it, didn't you?
You knew?
No, I realized it. As far as I know, there was only one person in all of Japan who understood that girl so well.
Ah, seeing that Yoko-san is about to bring up the topic of Kazusa and I tried to change the topic. But it seems we're on different levels.
That's why I sent you concert tickets. But in the end, it seems you rejected her. After all, your seat was the only one that was empty in the front row.
I'm sorry. I wasn't aware it was a platinum ticket.
It's fine. That's what destiny dictated about you and Kazusa back then, right? That girl can't even smile. Are you sure your magazine wants this?
Her last statement gave me pause, but by the time I turned to her, she was already completely immersed in her own daughter. We really are on different levels. Although I doubt she'd take it as a compliment if I said that to her. Apparently that's what people like in Japan. I think it has to do with looking mysterious or something.
She's only sulking though.
Indeed. As usual, the cameraman is passionately trying to talk to Kazusa, and she's just showing her usual cold, apathetic, and emotionless expression. Both Yoko-san and I can tell that she's in a foul mood, and that mood is apparent in her expression. But through the lens of a professional cameraman, he'll definitely allow this emotionless beauty to transform. After all, she is pretty to begin with.
Hey, Guitar-kun.
What is it?
Do you hold a grudge against me?
Still gazing intently at Kazusa, Yoko-san mutters with a slight hint of self-derision, almost unbelievably mother-like. Why would you think that?
Because the one who brought Kazusa to Vienna, the one who separated her from you is...
Toma-san?
What?
She made the right decision following you after all. If she acts so considerate towards me about Kazusa, I'm unable to respond with anything. It's because she was able to live with her family here that she is where she is now. That's why she's so upright despite herself, and doing all she can in her own way.
The only person who would say that is you, Guitar-kun. Do you perhaps have no parents?
Well, I won't deny that. They're certainly close to not existing.
You know, it's nothing to brag about, but I think I've done a decent job these past 5 years.
Yeah, that's why when I saw Kazusa for the first time in 5 years, it wasn't just her appearance that had changed. She had become more mature inside as well.
Kazusa has started taking the piano more seriously. It's not something I force on her, but something she does of her own will.
That's why Kazusa's been able to win time after time in famous competitions after working so hard for 5 years. She's gained a strong will.
Despite that, though, there are certain things that can't be solved by just being around her mentor, rival, and mother.
She had the talent from the start. She gained renown with her own hands. And...
Hey, Guitar-kun, these past 5 years, that girl has not changed a...
I have a girlfriend. I've been dating for a long time. Someone I'm thinking of marrying.
Did you tell that to Kazusa?
I'm not sure if it got through to her, but I did try to tell her.
I see.
That was a sudden and meaningless monologue. Or it was supposed to be.
Hey, Mr. Journalist, this is enough, right? I'm tired.
Good work. From the other side of the street, a stone's throw away, the model is at her wit's end from the persistent cameraman and his attacks. So she calls out to me. And so the interview is over. With this, everything is over. Thank you very much for today.
Say hello to your chief editor. Tell him I'll be in touch.
After that, as the cameraman tried to kiss Kazusa on the cheek, to which she responded by immediately and harshly stomping on his foot, he left looking quite dejected. We'll send the appearance fee to Tomoyoko office at a later date. I'll leave it to you to take care of the invoice.
Yes. I've already entrusted that to my secretary. Send it directly to the office, please.
Huh? As the people staring at us, as if seeing something curious, also left, only the 3 of us remained in the afternoon city street. Well then, I should
take care of yourself, Guitar-kun.
My name is Kitahara. Our last moment together draws closer.
Come on, Kazusa, say something too. You are the star of this event after all. Like I care. I never wanted an interview in the first place. You know you'll regret it as soon as he leaves. Don't expect me to console you later when you start sobbing. Hurry up and get back to Japan. Don't ever go abroad again. I'm sorry, even at the very end. My daughter's like this.
Not at all. She's always been like this. Kazusa finally turns her back to me. I can't even check and see what kind of expression is on her face anymore. I'll take my leave now. Stay safe, you two.
You too, Guitar-kun.
So, I turn my back on Kazusa as well. If she's unwilling to look at me anymore, there is no point in looking at her, because I have a place to return to. Setsuna's waiting for me. I take one step after another on the hard stone pavement, telling myself that this is our last time, and that we'll never meet again as I step firmly onto the cobblestone. No matter what happens, and no matter what the reason. But even then, There is still an hour left until my promised rendezvous with Setsuna. Kazusa! What is it? You're so persistent, Haruki. At some point, Kazusa had turned towards me. The moment I turned around, her eyes turned wide open, and she responded to my words without a second's delay.
What is it? If you have something to say, then say it already, you idiot!
How many times do I have to tell myself that this will be the last time? Is my determination something so frail? Is it something so light and fleeting?
You called out to me yourself, and now you're ignoring me? What the hell do you want from me?
I like to listen to you play the piano again, Kazusa. It's been so long.
Haruki.
That response was purely impulsive. I don't even know why I said it myself. Contextually, it made no sense. You won a prize at some big shot competition, right? You're much better than you used to be, right? All the vocabulary I learned from work disappeared from my memory one after another, and my expression can only be described as the idiot Kazusa called me. Let me hear it. I was your #1 fan, wasn't I? So there shouldn't be anything wrong with playing for me a little bit.
What are you talking about? There's no piano in sight here.
I'll look for one at a music instrument shop or a pub. I'm certain we'll find one soon, so please. I don't understand anything myself anymore. I don't know what it is that pushing me to do this, or why I feel so frustrated.
I can't, obviously.
Why not? I'm practically on my knees begging. Or why I feel so lonely.
I can't use the pedals. Not with how my feet are like right now.
At the sight of Kazusa's outstretched right foot, all the memories that had left me returned in an instant. I had even forgotten telling the cameraman, don't take any pictures of anything lower than her knees.
You've known since yesterday, haven't you? Weren't you the one who gave me first aid?
My exposed egotism turns as cold as the winter wind, making me suddenly feel freezing in turn.
You knew, yet you kept saying such tactless things.
My last memory with Kazusa left a bitter aftertaste.
Haruki-kun!
It's still 30 minutes before our planned rendezvous.
Haruki-kun! I kept you waiting, huh?
And I'm over 100 meters away from the place we promised to meet up. Setsuna was there. She found me immediately and ran toward me with a big smile on her face.
Great job at work today!
Setsuna, the place I was supposed to return to, came to me.
Or, well, maybe I shouldn't jump to conclusions? How did it go? Did everything work out?
Yeah, it's all done. I'm completely free until our trip home. It's the evening of December 25th, the time when Christmas truly starts, the time when the illumination of the city starts, and when countless people flow out onto the streets, wishing each other a Merry Christmas.
Hooray! That means we're together all night in this beautiful city.
Yeah, the old city of Strasbourg, like the rest of the city, was covered in Christmas decorations. luring tourists from even other parts of the country.
Where should we go first, then? I feel like it's a waste to eat right away. I want to walk the streets first.
Phrasing? Christmas night in the city mesmerizes people from all parts of the world.
Haruki-kun?
The massive Christmas tree, the resplendent decorative illumination, and the baccarat chandeliers.
Could it be that you're hungry? As I thought, maybe we should eat first?
No,
Then, what do you want to do?
I want to do this.
Eh? Eh?
At least to me, there is nothing that can win against the adorable girl right in front of me.
Haruki-kun?
At least to me, nothing can beat the woman in my arms.
Hey, wait! People are watching!
So what? It's just as Setsuna says. Everyone around us threw at least one glance at us. After all, this is the middle of the city. As far as these passerbys are concerned, these two people hugging in the middle of the street are nothing but a nuisance. I'm sorry, Setsuna.
You've said that countless times since this morning, but this time I'm more confused about it than ever.
Everything is over now. This time, for sure. Truly everything.
Is that so?
From now on, I'll always be with you, Setsuna. That's why my words and my actions, they make no sense in Setsuna's eyes. They're not supposed to evoke any strong feelings or passion.
I'm glad to hear that.
Even so, Setsuna puts her arms around me and gently accepts my forceful hug. She accepts me, who only came back because I reached my time limit. Because I reached the time limit. This horrible person who couldn't even choose her in the end. I'm sorry.
Enough already.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
December 28th, Friday. Alright, I'll be leaving now. No way. Kitahara is going home before me?
Haven't you been going home rather early recently? Especially on the weekends. I don't know about your circumstances, but I can't encourage slacking.
Yeah, on top of going on a business trip I had no heads up about, I worked without sleep the moment I came back, so I'm still a bit tired.
Go home immediately and get some rest, and do your best next week.
December 28th, Friday. When I came home from Europe last night, I headed straight to the editing department from the airport. And I've been organizing the contents of my coverage from when the date changed to up until it got dark again. I hate my outstanding ex-superior who set up this kind of culture.
How was your first overseas business trip? Did you manage to communicate with people? Did you properly do your job?
To be honest, I was so immersed in it that I kinda lost myself. So I don't remember all the details. Though I just made hand gestures whenever I couldn't communicate properly. And before I knew it, the job was done.
I see. So even Kitahara has his limits. That makes me a bit relieved. How can you be relieved from hearing the experiences of a first year when you're in your 3rd year and you've never gone on a single business trip?
I'm aiming for the World Cup for my first overseas business trip. Until then, I'll be brushing up on all my skills.
That's in 2 years.
I made appropriate interjections while listening to their conversation, but I couldn't focus on what they were saying. I stayed up all night yesterday, and I spent the whole day before that inside a plane. Sleeping in the economy class seats didn't do much to restore my energy. And the day before that, I spent the whole night making love to Setsuna, so I couldn't sleep then either. Kitahara. Sorry, what is it? This is bad. I fell asleep for a moment, and while I was standing up, no less.
You really seem tired. Perhaps you should just call it a day?
But I finally got things settled. Not to mention that Kazaki-san is paying. Paying? What?
Matsuoka suggested that we all call it a day and go for a drink.
Now? Yeah, we can call it a celebration of your hard work. You even helped him out during this, so Kazaki-san's paying.
I can't say I'm a fan of agreeing with Matsuoka, but I'll let it slide this time.
No, I'm just tired because I've been working without sleep. Even though everyone has worked this late, they still talk about grabbing a drink as if it's natural. People in the publishing industry truly are unbelievable. You interviewed Toma Kazusa, right? Let me hear about that. It's about that.
It wasn't even in the schedule I compiled for you. I'm impressed you were able to get a hold of that scoop, and, unlike her mother, she seems to hate interviews.
Nothing beats former classmates. If only I had connections that strong. No, it's just a job that Ensemble's chief editor arranged. I just did what I was told to. Never mind the details. You have pictures, right? Show me. I sent all the pictures to the chief editor. I don't have a single one on hand because I was too afraid to keep any.
Is that so? Well, whatever. At least tell me what happened with the beautiful pianist who's the talk of all of Japan.
Give me a break. I want to go to sleep, even if a second earlier. Seriously, give me a break. If they make me tell them about back then with alcohol involved, the regrets I've shut in the recesses of my mind will reappear. The Christmas scenery of Strasbourg and the dazzling snow fluttering around the city. Why are you so against telling us? You were evasive when I asked you during lunch as well.
Perhaps it's really true that something happened between you and Tomo Kazusa during high school.
Of course nothing happened. What kind of weird fantasy is that? The reunion that no one thought would happen on that snowy Christmas Eve. If I mix alcohol with my sleepiness, I might let those forbidden words escape my mouth. Well, whatever. We can talk about that as well as we enjoy a drink together. Like I said, do you think that the youngest person in the editing department has any right to refuse a drink? When I joined in, it felt like every day I was forced to.
Yeah, you did always shamelessly come along with us even though no one invited you. Not to mention, you never paid once.
Please, just let me go home. I'm sorry, but you can't go home right now. Kirahara, come with me to Ensemble's editing department. Right now. Hamada-san? The person who appeared was neither a guardian angel nor a demon. About that interview with Tomo Kazusa. Are all the comments she made truly hers? What do you mean? No, I don't think you'd ever do something like this. But did you, by any chance, forget to ask her certain questions and make up the responses later on? Of course I didn't do that. I mean, I did fix up her word choice here and there, but there's no doubt that it's what Tomo Kazusa said. That girl? I suppose you're right. You, of all people, wouldn't. But then what in the world is the meaning of this?
What's the matter, Hamada-san? I don't understand where you're going with this.
Did he write something bad? Maybe about some past love affair of hers? Of course I'd never write about that. No, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that. Not that. You wrote that there are currently no plans for a concert in Japan, didn't you? Yeah. They've planned concerts outside of Europe, but they told me nothing is planned for Japan. In truth, that was a comment Toma Yoko made. But I'd say she has more credibility than Kazusa herself. There was an official announcement just earlier. It confirmed Toma Kazusa will hold a concert in Japan on January 27th, a month from now. December 31st, Monday.
Ah, this is where Kazusa's concert will take place, right?
Yeah, it is.
This is amazing! How many people can they fit in here? She must truly be above the clouds to play in a venue this big.
You're right. Kazusa's concert in Japan is confirmed. January 27th, in the Onjuku Art and Culture Hall. And yesterday, after receiving higher demand than expected, it was confirmed that there's even an additional concert planned a month later.
I saw the news coverage of her award ceremony earlier. Kazusa has become so beautiful.
You think so? I don't think she's changed that much.
That's because she's always been beautiful. But now, I feel she even exceeds that. It's hard to believe she was our friend once.
Ever since she found out about this a few days ago, Setsuna has been in high spirits. Even today, as we walk down the road to the shrine, waiting for the new year to come, she's unable to talk about anything else. Talking about how amazing her classmate was, and about our big moment on the stage back in high school, about the homecoming of her friend after 5 years. Hey, Haruki! Huh?
Don't attend it. Don't you dare attend her concert. You hear me?
How many times do you have to tell me that? I've already told you I have no intention of going. And the reaction of the other two is the complete opposite of Setsuna, distancing themselves from the merrymaking Setsuna and whispering the same thing to me over and over again. Setsuna is only pretending. This isn't how she truly feels, I'm sure.
Don't you go naively buying tickets just because Setsuna says she wants to go?
Not to mention, they're assaulting me from both sides. I wouldn't be able to get my hands on any tickets, even if I tried. They started selling the tickets online yesterday. There were over 2,000 tickets. They started selling them at 10 o'clock and were sold out in less than 30 minutes. Now the ticket price on auction sites is already 10 times higher than the original price.
But you have connections, don't you? Your company is sponsoring this concert.
I'm amazed you even know that. Yes, our company, Kazusa, is listed as one of the sponsors for the grand concert. To begin with, Tomoyoko and Kazusa, or rather, her and Ensemble's chief editor, have deep connections, so we're involved in practically all of their events. That's why there's a couple of tickets going around in our editing department, and even people who don't usually listen to classical music are entering a competition to get one. But I didn't join that competition.
Also, it's not just about not going to the concert.
Don't ever meet Toma alone.
If she contacts you, ignore her.
That might be cruel to Toma, but it's for the sake of you three.
And so, the stereo speakers continued to repeat things around me. I'd never get a chance in the first place. Who do you think Tomo Kazusa is?
A former student of Hojo High School?
A former member of the Light Music Club.
She's the most popular pianist in Japan. She's being treated like an idol.
Her skill is certainly part of the reason she's so popular. But the domestic noise being made right now is obviously not just about that. Tomo Yoko's daughter, the beautiful pianist, the embodiment of the Japanese dream to make it big overseas. Just like a certain famous idol that came before her. In fact, people are already looking at her with the same eyes. She might return to Japan, but she'll still have her hands full. She won't have any private time to spare.
We don't care about her private circumstances. We're asking about you, Haruki.
I'm not thinking of meeting her. Not after all this time.
Can we trust you on that?
Everyone, hurry up, hurry up! The new year is about to begin!
Of course he can, I answer with a sigh and lightly wave back at Setsuna, who waves back at me with exaggerated motions. Only 5 minutes left until 2013.
I want to go to the concert! I hope we can!
All the tickets for the concert in Tokyo are sold out. Tickets for her additional concert will go on sale at the end of this month.
I see! Then we better get our hands on them. I'll have to look up the exact date they start selling them.
When the year ended and our shrine visit was over, we said goodbye to Takia and Dio and returned to Minami Suetsugo. Yet, Setsuna's spirits were as high as ever.
Setsuna is only pretending.
After seeing this overly positive attitude, what Takia said feels more credible. I feel a chill go down my spine.
Besides, the announcement was far too sudden. If they start selling tickets 2 days after the announcement, that must mean they've planned this for a while now.
Yeah, they must have planned it. If they start selling tickets 2 days after the concert is announced, people will make all sorts of assumptions at this rushed schedule, like how they didn't want to let the popularity from their success in the Giovanni International competition escape them. Or like how they were pressured by some big advertising corporation. Or how they had decided on a concert in Japan a long time ago, but purposefully delayed the announcement to stir people up, or how her mother was unsatisfied with the pay, so they were unable to announce it. But unlike these various speculations, I was supposed to know the real facts. The most reliable out there told me that she wasn't going. That's why I told myself over and over again that our reunion in Strasbourg would be the last time we met. Kazusa herself said that it was over. She said that the only thing certain is that she's not going to Japan. And why? Why did she turn over what she said herself after a mere 2 days?
Haruki-kun?
It's nothing. Come on, let's go home. I grab Setsuna's hand and start walking along the road towards my apartment. I don't have to think about anything unnecessary right now. I should only focus on the New Year's Day. I will spend with Setsuna. I'll spend time with Setsuna in my apartment, but not long enough to call it staying over. Early in the morning, I'll visit the Oguso household and enjoy a New Year's osechi made by Setsuna and her mom, while being met with her father's awkward expression. I'll enjoy my time there as if I were part of her family. In the afternoon, we'll visit the shrine with her family. It will be our second time there this year. Normally, it'd be rude to be imposing on them for the whole day. But in the morning of the second day, Setsuna will come over to my place again. We'll eat the leftovers of the osechi from the day before and watch TV together, shoulder to shoulder, discussing whether we should go buy a mystery package or go out to hang out. But we'll be too lazy to move, so we'll end up spending the entire day in my room, like that, lazily, without any change. Yet, it'll be a period of time that allows me to feel calm, together with Setsuna, without worrying about anything else. Merely...
Hey, Haruki-kun?
Huh?
Did you want to meet Kazusa?
Nah, not really. I don't want to think about anything else. Yet, Setsuna peers at me thoughtlessly, now that she's finally regained her calm demeanor.
It's been 5 years, you know? She's coming back to Japan.
That has nothing to do with...
It's the first time since that time, you know?
Stop it, Setsuna. Why would you say that?
I'm sorry.
No, it's nothing to apologize about. I should be sorry for putting it that way.
Haruki-kun?
But, you know, Setsuna, you've been acting strange today. You seem to be in unusually high spirits today.
Yeah, I am in high spirits. But only because you're too gloomy, Haruki-kun.
I never realized how those two only went after me and said nothing about Setsuna. I never realized how those two only went after me and said nothing about Setsuna. From the viewpoint of an onlooker, was I the one acting... From the viewpoint of an onlooker, was I the one acting strange?
So, I wanted to know the reason. But I felt like I didn't want to ask somehow. So, I started feeling really awkward.
Kazusa isn't what Setsuna was feeling conscious about. She's feeling conscious about me, who's feeling conscious about Kazusa.
Hey, Haruki-kun, Kazusa is coming to Japan. She's coming somewhere close to us.
She'll go straight back to Vienna. The way Toma is right now, She considers Vienna her true hometown. I'm feeling so conscious about Kazusa that I'm purposefully calling her Toma.
I won't tell you not to meet Kazusa. I've never asked God for such a thing.
Setsuna.
As long as you remain yourself, Haruki-kun, I'm happy, as you are now.
Setsuna was in high spirits because she was feeling uneasy, all because my uneasiness infected her. It's because I'm too conscious about Kazusa, because I'm worried about her, all because of her and her whimsicalness. That's why I have to reassure her. I have to do away with Setsuna's unease. What am I doing? Why am I even thinking I can cheer Setsuna up right now? Even though I betrayed Setsuna once again. Even though I've kept silent about something of unparalleled importance. You've got it wrong, Setsuna.
About what?
Had I only told her from the start, I wouldn't be tormented by this unease I know the reason for. And Setsuna wouldn't be tormented by this unease she doesn't know the reason for. The issue isn't the possibility that I'll meet her in the future, but it's already too late. An entire week too late. The issue is that I've already met her. We already reunited a long time ago. The fact that I've hid this from Setsuna all this time is the final nail in the coffin for the sin I've committed.
When? Where?
In Strasbourg. With that, it seems that Setsuna understands everything now. After that, just like how people tend to talk at length when confessing to their crimes, I told her about my week-long sin. I told her about the job I was suddenly given on the 25th, was the widely talked about exclusive interview with the young pianist. I told her that I didn't know it involved Kazusa until I already landed. I told her that Kazusa didn't know it involved me either. I told her that on the morning of the 25th, after my morning stroll and breakfast with Setsuna, I went to see Kazusa. I told her that when she was walking the streets alone, I was with Kazusa, and the wounded tourist happened to be none other than Kazusa. The reason I couldn't attend Christmas Mass with her was because of Kazusa. The reason I broke our 1-week rule, which we had kept for almost 2 years, was because of Kazusa. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. That is strange. Why did Kazusa say there was no concert planned, but there is? Did her mother book it without telling her? Or is it a last-minute booking? Or is Kazusa just being Kazusa and being stubborn? I wonder what's going on there.